Hello everybody, this is Spencer with Container House Mayhem. I'm bringing you this video to show you more detail about the spiral staircase and the functionality of it. And as you can see, this is the front door, and we wanted the spiral staircase to be the wow factor when you walk up to this house and into this house. And as you can see, the spiral staircase housing is just above the front door and goes way up there to the third floor. So we're going to walk through the front door, and I will explain in detail about the spiral staircase and how it works as a heat exchanger as well. So you walk in the front door, you can see the wood stove there, and this 8.5 foot diameter spiral staircase. We'll take a little trip up the stairs, and as you can see with the reference of my foot, that is a pretty deep step. And that pipe right there is where the heat goes into the second floor. After the heat is collected off of the spiral staircase pipe. As you can see, some of the spiral staircase housing is not finished. We don't have the trim around the windows or anything yet. And this is where you would walk off onto the second floor. This is what we call the neutral area. And this is where the 4 bedrooms are for the house. And this is the neutral area looking into the spiral staircase. And we'll go ahead and continue up to the third floor. And this is the entryway of the third floor that we have not started yet, but we keep it closed off so the heat don't come into the house. And I know our windows are a little bit dirty, but you can kind of see the view that we have. And during this end of this video, I will take you up on top of the third floor, up on the roof, and give you a better idea of what kind of view we have. Alright, more about the heat exchanger part of the spiral staircase. Now in our last video, I told you that this 8-inch pipe was actually the ductwork for the air to travel around, because there's a 5-inch square tube in the center of it that acts as the chimney. So I had to put this I put this tank in here just so that I could put this fan up there, because that fan has like a 16-inch opening, and I can't fit that onto an 8-inch pipe. So I put this tank here. Eventually I'm going to grind those welds, clean it up, and I will hang lights off of it down and around to follow the spiral staircase and make a big chandelier out of it. So there's the squirrel cage fan you can see, and I'm going to put a framework around that with filters so that when the fan is running in the winter, if there's any dust, we can kind of filter the air. All right, we're gonna go back down the spiral staircase. And as you're going down the spiral staircase, you can't help but look at that view. I'm going to go back up the spiral staircase and I'm going to show you just how tall we are from the first floor. So we're going to lean over the edge here, and you can see that that's quite a ways down there. If you're looking outside here on top of my bay windows, you can see I put some time into the roof of them bay windows. And we do have solar lights that go into them. They need to be replaced now. They've been in there too long and they're all wore out. And then the kids' bedroom bay windows are similar to the first floor windows. But we'll get back to the spiral staircase. So there's the stove. Now this was given to us out of a home that was going to be tore down, so we utilized it for our house. And this here is the flue to control the flow, and then this is the exhaust for the smoke. Now just inside this pipe here is a 5-inch square tube, and if you looked at our spiral staircase video, you will see how it was kind of diamond shaped. Well, anyways, that heat from here goes into that 5-inch square tube and goes all the way up to the ceiling of the spiral staircase. And that starts warming up, and we turn the fan on upstairs, and the fan blows air down here into this pipe, and then that pipe is plumbed like you would see in a furnace or air conditioning or whatever, and it goes up the wall right there, and it goes all the way up to the second floor, and it goes into that square tube there. And behind that square tube is the bottom edge of the container, and I have holes cut out in it so that the air could easily be diverted underneath the floor. And the way we clean this chimney out is we have this brush. We actually drop that chain in from the top, and then somebody comes down here and opens up this hatch, just like that, and you reach in here, you grab the chain, you pull it out, hook the brush to it, and you send it back in, and then you tell the person at the top, pull on the chain, and it cleans out our chimney. I made that very accessible so that it didn't take much time to get it all cleaned out. We still have not painted the spiral staircase. We don't know what color we want to paint it yet. But as you can see, it goes way up there. And I did a lot of work up there before the spiral staircase was even in place. Another feature to this area that the spiral staircase is in is I put my swamp cooler under the house that's elevated 14 feet, and my swamp cooler blows up through that vent work right there. And I have that wood right there for now just to stop the air from going all the way into the second floor. We wanted to get some of the cool air in the first floor, obviously. Even though this house is very well insulated, we still have to cool it. There's another shot looking up at the top. And that's it for the walk around on the spiral staircase. Alright, I just got done showing you the spiral staircase, and I showed you the hole where the swamp cooler blows out of. Now we are underneath the house, showing you the swamp cooler and how I've got it ducted up through the floor of the first floor. Now eventually this down here will all be enclosed. And if I have my car down here and I'm running it, I don't want it to be sucking the exhaust, so I'm going to eventually enclose this and duct it out to the outside right here, and I'll have a vent right there so the swamp cooler can suck the air here. And I will do that on both sides. Sucking the air from underneath the house is definitely a lot cooler than having it up on the roof. And I also chose to have it down here because I didn't want to put holes in the roof of my house. Generally, if you have a hole in a house on the roof, over time it could leak. You can see some wires dangling there. I don't have everything wired permanently yet. Some of the wires are going to my lights for under the house just so I could work. But anyways, that's how my swamp cooler is ducted into my house. Alright, well, since we're down here and I was showing you the swamp cooler under the house there, I figured I'd just stop right here and show you just how impressive it is to stand back here and see how high this house is. It's on 14-foot stilts, because I'm going to put a shop under there, and then you look all the way up there to the water tank, and from the ground to the water tank is 5.5 stories tall. And right there, that opening underneath that container is going to be our dining room eventually. Have a big bay window and plenty of room to move around. And you can see more bay windows out the back there. Those are 2 more bedrooms that are on the second floor with bay windows as well. As you can see, I got a bunch of stuff. My kids and I like to build stuff, be creative. Alright, well, now I'm going to take you on top of the 3rd floor so you can see the view from there. Alright, we're on top of the 3rd floor. can see there's the spiral staircase. It's a little windy out here today. There's the 5-inch chimney that goes through the 8-inch pipe there. The top of the spiral staircase. Come over here and I'll show you the water tank. I took the parts of the container that I cut out and used for the siding of this water tank. You can see I spent a little extra time and did the roof the same way as I did the bay windows and everything. Built a frame out of 8-inch channel on the bottom with 4-inch cross members to hold the tank. It's a 2,500 gallon tank. Now the Triton you see there, that's just the name that came on some of these containers, but I used the best panels I could so that it looked nice. I didn't want anything all dented up. I'm going to give you kind of a panoramic view of what we see from up here on the top of this 3rd floor. Eventually I'll have handrails and a couple spiral staircases to get you up here. Now this is looking west, and there's a little ridge line there. We can't really see over that into Smoky Valley. And then we'll turn over here to the south. You can start seeing a little bit further out. The best view is over here to the east. You can see about 2 or 3 mountain ranges over. Look over the edge here out the back of my house. Please excuse the mess, but my kids and I like to build stuff. We could probably go into that later on detail of what our hobbies are. But if you look way down there, it's a long ways to go. That container sticking out the back there is actually just a storage container, so my wife don't have to go outside in the weather to get into her storage. It's not temperature controlled or anything, but she don't have to go out in the wind or the rain or anything to access it. So this is the east side of our house. You can see my handrails I started down there on top of the 1st floor. I need to continue that on every floor of this house. Got about halfway around on the roof of the 1st floor. Got to it yet. You can see right there I got an 8-inch pipe. We will finish off the top of it with either some lights or some kind of decoration. And I cut the pipe in a way that it covers the square blocks of the container, because I don't really like the look of the bit more decoration as well. So back to this water tank. So what we do is we pump water up into this tank, and then we gravity feed all the faucets and everything in the house. So after this tank is full, we can be good for about 2 weeks. If everybody showers and bathes and cleans every day, this tank will last about 2 weeks, and it's 2,500 gallons. You know, we don't have pressure, but we have flow. I took all the screens out of all the faucets and everything so that we had flow and no restrictions from the screens and the faucets. And that is it for now. And don't forget to subscribe.